Well, you know what it's like with long words and, you know, short words. Right, so now, my first question to you is, what do you think that Uncle Mark is trying to do with Will here? And obviously it's Jason Reynolds that's behind everything here as the writer. What is Uncle Mark trying to get Will to do here when he says to him, right, we're going to create the screenplay here of your shooting of rigs in the future? And I've given you a little icon to make you think about this. I want your idea. What do you think Uncle Mark is trying to get Will to do? Alfie?
Like the possibilities of all the ghosts being Will's conscious, it could be his conscious playing out the event.
Right, so, okay, so, yeah, like that, that's good. Okay, so it's Will's conscience that's playing out events there. That works, that's a good one. Will, what do you think?
I don't really remember the
Sam, what do you think? What's going on here? When Uncle Mark says, right, well, run it past me, take me through it step by step, scene by scene, what's he doing?
Because he was like a photographer, he's kind of using that, like, so he's talking around it in a
Cinematic way, yeah, but why do that? What does that make Will have to do? Try and build upon what Alfie said here. You know, with the conscience playing out events. What else, Fionn, pay attention. What else is Mark trying to get Will to do?
say what you said.
Oh, I don't think it's about saying anything, Saren. Well, one, he wants to stop, yeah. Okay, yeah. Abby, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both what Alfie and Sarah said in like a way.
Damn.
He doesn't want him to do it, but
Right, so here's something. Why do you think I gave you that as a clue?
wants to take it.
So if you do that, how does that work, Meg? Come to you in a minute. How does that work?
You can replay it.
Where can you replay it, Meg? Meg, where can you replay it? Yeah. So what is that suggesting will happen with Will? If he goes ahead and shoots Riggs and kills him, what is Mark saying? This is what will potentially happen to you. Alfie?
It's sort of like throwing all yours and then you can see.
Yeah. Also, is this not about, oops. Isn't this also about Mark, his uncle, getting him? I want you to visualize what you're about to do. Walk me through it. Live it in the moment. Yeah. As you can see, Sam, others have discovered your PDF copy.
PDF copy.
The one that you've always got on your device rather than having the book with you. So Uncle Mark squeezed his lips like he was trying to rip them off, then opened his eyes. Okay, well, he said, all serious. Let's set the scene. What you mean, set the scene? I mean, let's play it out. How this whole thing is going to go down. Play it out like a movie. Uncle Mark explained. We'll go back and forth. I'll start from the top. The scene. Will stands over dead brother Sean. 2 holes in his chest. Blood all over the ground. Will takes his mother inside. She cries. He looks for his brother's gun. Will finds the gun. Lies down and thinks about the rules. No crying, no snitching, and always get revenge. The next day, he decides to find who he knows killed his brother, a guy named Riggs. Will gets in the elevator, goes down to the lobby, walks outside, past his brother's blood on the concrete, and he continues for 9 blocks, gets to Riggs's house, sees Riggs pull the gun out, and I got stuck. Couldn't say nothing else, couldn't say it. Hoped Uncle Mark would say, cut. But he didn't. The scene continued. Go ahead, finish it. Up until that point, things were running smoothly, but this stupid last part got me caught up. Finish it, Uncle Mark demanded. Danny whimpered. Buck razzed. Okay, okay, I said, trying to calm Uncle Mark down. Will pulls the gun out, and I stalled. And my mouth dried out. Words, phlegm, trapped in my throat like an allergic reaction to the thought of it all. What can Will not do? What can Will not say? Amy. He cannot say that he's going to shoot. Yeah. Again, as you can see here, we've got that use of ellipsis, haven't we? The dot, dot, dot. When do we use ellipsis? What's its impact? What's its impact here? That ellipsis. Why does Jason Reynolds decide to put ellipsis in there? Why? There. There's an effect, and the effect is what? It does make it more dramatic, and that's one of the uses of ellipsis, isn't it? It's ellipsis. If you think of ellipsis is punctuation, doing the doof 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 in EastEnders. You know, they get that and they'll focus on somebody's eyes, and you get a doof 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 doof. You know, it's that kind of drum beat thing, and off it goes. So it creates tension. So it does that because we're taken to the brink. What else can ellipsis sometimes be used to indicate, especially with a character? Yeah. What can it be? Not sure? Not sure? Not sure? No? Alfie is doing an awful lot of work here today, isn't he? His hands up in the air constantly. Others not being so workmanlike. Sam, what else can the ellipsis? I'll come to you in a minute, Alfie. I just want to get others to get this. Sam, why else do we use ellipsis, especially with a character? When they be talking and it just goes.
Like when you lost for word.
There's the thing. There's the thing. Alfie, what were you going to say? The exact same thing, isn't it? Yeah, and it's that idea where they're speaking and suddenly it just trails off into nothing. Because they can't think of it. And again, the fact that his words, you know, evade him, he can't say anything. What else does that suggest? The fact that he cannot come up with the words of it.
He can't. It's like if when he goes to the written action.
Yeah, he can't physically say the word, can he? this idea about something being too awful to comprehend, isn't it? You know, it's like he's taking himself to the brink, and he gets to the brink, and he kind of looks over, and he just can't bear to say what he sees, yeah, or what he wants to do, yeah. This is an echo of the first ghost, isn't it? This is an echo of Buck, because what does Buck say? Yeah, and also, yeah. Yeah, this is another, it's the exact same kind of message, but by a different, and maybe a more brutal route that Uncle Mark's doing here. This is the same as Buck saying, you haven't got it, and you, Sean, had it. You don't have it. You can't do the killing thing. You know, you don't know how to even shoot a gun, sort of thing. Yeah. Why does Uncle Mark, when he's trying to get Will to think about it, he says, right, we're going to play it out like a movie. Why does he say that to him? What do you think is going on there? Well, why say to him, let's play this out just like it's a movie?
And like we said before, it just kind of replays, and it's also it's kind of just like stupid. It doesn't seem like this sort of keeps happening. They shoot someone and they get shot.
Yeah.
Because the people like around the person who shoots will follow the rules.
Yeah, good. We'll factor these little bits in, and they're good things to do here. Like a movie. Movie, Seren, does that make it real or unreal? Yeah. So it gives it that sense of the unreal, and of course, in a movie, it's the easiest thing in the world, isn't it, to shoot somebody? Because what? Why? Why in these movies is it easy for the cops to shoot the robbers and the robbers to shoot back at the cops? Why is that so easy? Sorry? There's no consequence. You know, and again, it's this whole thing about getting to understand the consequence. Uncle Marky is going to get him to see this is no movie. You know, you will have no control over this. It will play out over and over and over and over you in your head, no matter how you try to stop it. And the difference is these folk won't get back up at the end of the day and put on different clothes because it was all just a bit of play acting. This is real. You know, and again, it's the gruesomeness, isn't it, of the depiction that he gives here. You know, everything in a way, it's detached in tone, isn't it? Where the Will stands over the dead brother Sean, 2 holes in his chest. Again, giving it all in that sort of graphic detail, isn't it? Precision, precise to him, vivid, as if the camera eye is just panning over this whole scene, but it is emotionless until it gets to the point where he needs to do something, you know, and that's the bit where he gets stuck. Yeah, and he hopes at that point, doesn't he? He says there himself that Uncle Mark would say cut, because that's the idea of the stop. Do something to stop this, because he can't get to the end of the scene. He can't get to the end of the visual of killing Briggs. Yeah. And it's this idea, isn't it, that Uncle Mark doesn't give up. Uncle Mark, you know, why do you think we have it that here, isn't it? He's putting real pressure on Will. And we can see the reaction from the others around. The fellow ghosts. Danny whimpered. And Buck razzed. What does that mean when he says Buck razzed? What does that mean? Anybody know? Anybody got an idea? How's he reacting? That would be where Buck's thinking, oh wait, you know, back off, man. You've gone too far here. Leave the kid alone, sort of thing. You know, you're taking things a step too far. It's all getting a little bit too heavy. That sort of idea. But you've got Danny whimpering there. Fearful. For who? Who are they fearful for? Well, yeah. Why is Mark putting them under that amount of pressure? Is that Alfie? Yeah, it's both those things. Simulating that pressure. You think you're going to do this? This is what it's going to be like. This isn't how intense it's going to be. Got to do that, and at the same time, showing you can't stand up to that sort of pressure. You will buckle underneath it. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's that idea of buckling under pressure, and you can see that, and again, it gets repeatedly used here, isn't it? You know, and return of the ellipsis again, both times. You know, and the actual speech doesn't flow, and he says himself, "I stalled." You know, and of course, in that situation, that's going to be deadly, isn't it? You don't have the opportunity to stall. If you're going to do this, you've got to just pull that gun out. You've got to do it before he does it to you, sort of thing. That's what's coming up here, and Mark is just putting that continuous pressure to him. And again, that is coming out in the text, the way it is written, the way that it is filmed here. Now, an interesting thing about this text is we hear the voices of the ghosts, don't we? And earlier in this visitation of Uncle, quick, change it before Alfie sees. Uncle Mark asks a really brilliant question. He says, a better question, Uncle Mark, because remember in this section, well, so it goes, what are you doing here, man? You know, why are you here? And a better question, he said, eyes up at me, is, why are you here? And that is a really, really good question. And, you know, we get a bit of a basic answer from Will, but all the time in this text, the majority of the speaking is done by the ghosts. The ghosts take over the text. The ghosts as characters have the predominance of dialogue, as they have to, if you think about it as the conscience battling out, that sort of thing. What I'd like you to attempt now, because we've been looking at this free verse quite a bit, and you can just do it down the side here of your OneNote. I want you to give Will's answer to that question in a little bit of blank verse, a la Jason Reynolds. Look at the fear in the eyes. But here, what do you know is about the way that Reynolds writes this? It's like conversation, isn't it? You speak your thoughts. And I want you to maybe think about how you structure your response here. How do you say it? What words will you put in Will's mouth? Yeah? Was that Sam?
Yeah.
Yes, Sam.
You know the book that you give me? You know the book you're giving me?
Sam, is that relevant right now? I think not.
No, it's about verse. Like, I think could it be in verse?
Sorry?
Could it be in verse?
Anyway, back to my task. Yeah? 12:24. You got about 10 minutes. You probably won't get this finished. You get this started right now, sort of thing. I want you to have a go at writing Will's response to that question in verse, please. Just in your window, yeah? Over to you. Right? You got about 10 minutes. Let's see what you come up with in 10 minutes. Yeah? Just write Will's answer to that question. Why are you here? Give him the words. You don't have to write an African American. You don't need to be, in the hood. You can just use your own style. Yeah. You can be, and then our responses here, Will can be from North Wales. It's quite all right.
How long is the response be?
We only get 10 minutes. I'm expecting, and as you can see here, what Jason Reynolds does, don't you? It varies from page to page, but he's got to give some sort of reasoning here. Lengthwise, I don't know how many words you're going to use because it's poetry, it's in verse, but I would expect it to kind of go down like there. Yeah. Your first question is always how long is it going to be? It should not be that. It should just be about the quality.
No, I meant like what we're doing like a massive thing.
Well, no, because it's in verse, so it's not going to be massive, is it?
But I mean, like the answer could just be to kill someone.
But he won't just say that, will he? He's got to kind of maybe try and reason it because he's given a reply to his uncle Mark. Just think of the things that he might say. He might bring up the rules, man, the rules. Do you know rule number 3, Uncle Mark? You've got to follow the rules. But it doesn't need. Remember that the whole thing here is it doesn't need to rhyme. But again, you might want to do things with punctuation. You might want to leave the ... at some point. You might want to make words leap out. What's his question? It's there. Why are you here? Why are you here in this elevator right now? That's such a loaded question, isn't it? This is about why are you here at this moment in time?
I think like
Sam.
can I like ask you a question? Like say if you say why are you here? Can't I just say like how are you talking to your dad? I said why are you here?
That's a very question. That's what he asks just before Mark comes back to him. He says, why are you here? And he comes back at him with a question. He says,
No, I just said why are you here? Why are you here? No.
but he's already asked that.
Yeah, but I'm asking him. Yeah, he needs to answer first.
He's answered the question with the question. Come on. Be creative. You're all creative in your own way, aren't you? Yes, you are. Don't fight it. Your inner poet will come out, Sam. But it doesn't have to be a long answer. Remember, it doesn't have to look at the way look at the text is used. Yeah.
I know, but all I think is the point is like to follow the rules, like to kill something and to get revenge.
That's fine, but think about the words that you're going to use to get that across. Yeah, that's what I want you to try and think about. That's fine because it's going to revolve around that. That's his kind of defence mechanism at the moment, isn't it? It's the rules. Remember he said that? He said he had to explain the rules to Danny so that she would understand he wasn't just another guy, out to cause trouble. There was a real reason behind this. why he was doing this. So he might be going back to that. Might be something else. You might want to bring in a little bit about his brother. What about your brother, Mark? Would you have left him dead in the ground and not done anything about it? Cool. Right. Anyone want to share a little bit of what they've done so far? Anyone want to, volunteer? Or will I have to ask? Abby, what you got so far? What have you got so far?
I'm worried today.
I'll give you a second then, okay. Alfie, you getting written down there?
No, I'm done. I'm not done actually. I meant to say it.
I know that you've checked if Via's working, if Via's checked your work. Just
A bit like what? 3 lines?
yeah, what are your 3 lines then?
Are you stupid? Why do you think I'm here?
Yeah, I like that. That's fine. Yeah. And how did you write the word stupid?
You put an S and a T and an E.
Yeah, but I mean, because then you could put it in big block capitals, like shouty capitals. Are you stupid? Exclamation. You could maybe do that.
Bold
Yeah.
italics.
Yeah, even that bold italics. Yeah, that would work a dream. Yeah. Well, what about you? Ian, written down there? You get anything? Yeah. Want to hear?
Because my brother's been shot, he's not with us. I ain't gonna let him down that before he got consulted with us. One of them's to get.
Oh, I like
One of them's to get revenge, and I'm getting revenge.
that's good. I like that, but never letting them down. See, that's good. Like that, never let them down. Got to get the revenge. Yeah, good. Evia, what about you?
That's a valid reason.
Right, Alfie thinks it's valid, so let's hear it. Go for it.
No.
Yeah, come on, Evia.
Do you want to say the bottom one or what?
The bottom one. Well, I
Okay,
can't
right.
say the end of the bottom one.
Oh, yes, you can. It's part of it. You can sit down, yeah.
No,
Why not?
because I'm going to replace it with that. The person I'm getting revenge.
Sorry, say it again.
not saying that. Because the rules are getting.
Okay, because it's the rules, I'm getting revenge, okay? Abby, you getting written down now? Huh?
I have some things written down.
Right, let's hear.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Okay. Like, okay. What does it look like I'm here for? Rules are rules, and I stay by rules, whatever.
Oh, I like it, yeah. Rules are rules, I stay by rules. Yeah, very good. Like it. Sam?
You okay. It's kind of written weirdly, like with their slow diagonal thing.
That's fine, that's fine.
You know why I'm here, don't you? Don't you? Don't then slide into.
Oh, right, yeah, good.
And then your dad, for God's sake, stop messing with my hair. All of you. I don't need to answer to a ghost in big black.
Oh, I like it, yeah.
But if you need to know, then it's the rules. It's the rules. You have to follow them. You just have to.
Yeah, no, very good, like that. After all that, you know, humming and hawing there, that was very good. Amy, how about you?
I put, why am I here? I can't look him in the eyes. Every part of me. I can let this. I'm getting revenge. That's why I'm coming up with that. No, you're not. You can't even say it. You're not strong enough.
Very good, like it, like it, like it. Fia, when did you pop down? Yeah, come on. Stop looking out the window. But just what you've got down, you know. Well, no, because it is 12:35. We're running out of time. I need to squish your hands before you go to lunch. Hmm? Give me 3 lines. Give me 3 lines. Yeah.
I need to be here for my brother. Rick needs to die, and I'm gonna be the reason why.
Very good. Nothing wrong with that. Well done. Thank you. Right. There we have to leave it for today. Then we come back on Wednesday for our final lesson of this half term. Oh, I don't know about that, Sam.